the campus of Purdue University, the battle of two college basketball giants. 6'11", Roosevelt Bowie for unbeaten Syracuse. 7 foot 1 inch Joe Barry Carroll for the Boilermakers of Purdue. Number 5 Syracuse, number 10 Purdue, today on NBC. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Purdue University's Mackey Arena. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire and Billy Packer, and with a roar of this crowd as these teams took the court, you know why we get excited about bringing you college basketball. And today, we're going to be focusing on two of the big men in college basketball, maybe two of the best, Billy.
Well, certainly a great confrontation for us, Dick, from the standpoint we have one super offensive player and one great defensive player. Roosevelt Bowie, of course, a super defensive shot blocker. If he stays out of foul trouble today, we may have one of the best confrontations we've ever had in the middle.
Bowie is 6'11", but he'll be looking up at Joe Barry Carroll of Purdue.
Joe B's the aircraft carrier of college basketball. He'll be the #1 draft choice in the NBA. He plays within the paint. He has good hands, good lateral movement, a little baby hook shot and a turnaround. If he gets 25 shots, Purdue will win.
Well, Purdue has lost only 2. Syracuse is unbeaten. They're looking for a chance with a victory today to move into perhaps a #1 or 2 spot in the nation.
Syracuse comes in here with their best start in 55 years, unbeaten against Purdue. They've lost to only 2 teams, both of those in the top 10. Now the introduction of the starting lineups. Here's public address announcer Rick Miles.
Ladies and gentlemen, here now are the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First, the Orange Men of Syracuse University. At the guards, a 6'2" junior from Syracuse, New York, number 23, Marty Head. At the other guard, a 6'2" junior from New York, New York, number 22, Eddie Moss. At one forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Trenton, New Jersey, number 42, Ron Payton. At the other forward, a 6'8" senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 55, Louis Orr. And at center, a 6'11" senior from Kendall, New York, number 50, Roosevelt Bowie. And the head coach, Jim Boeheim. At one guard, a 6'5" sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, number 11, Keith Edmondson. At the other guard, a 6'2" junior from Lebanon, Indiana, number 20, Brian Walker. At the forward, a 6'5" junior from East Chicago, Indiana, number 33, Drake Morris. A 6'7" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 45, Arnett Hallman. And at the center, a 7' 1 inch senior from Denver, Colorado, number 22, Joe Barry Carroll. One of the top, one of the better featured today from Mackey Arena on the campus of Purdue. And we'll have the opening tip-off in just a moment. Hey, we'll talk about that sometime. Here are the officials. They'll be riding control today. Ed Marisich, Darwin Brown, and Mike Stockner with the whistles, and we're ready to go. The Syracuse in their bright orange uniforms. Morris, Edmondson for Purdue at the forward, Carroll at center. Walker, their clever guard, Edmondson as well. And Joe Barry Carroll gets the tip for Purdue. This is Walker, a fine playmaker and an excellent defensive player. Hallman, their defensive forward. Inside to Carroll, 10-footer. Joe Barry Carroll, the Big Ten scoring champion last year. He leads again this year. 2-0 Purdue.
That was a 2-3 zone, Dick, and Carroll finds openings even in the zone.
Marty Head, the good outside shooter. Eddie Moss, the playmaking guard, in for a 10-footer to tie it up. Moss, who does not score that much, under 5 points a game, but he knots it at 2.
Full court zone press with Bowie all the way back to defend.
Moss makes the steal. Underneath it goes. Ron Payton outside to Head. Head to Moss, and now Bowie gets back into the alley. Head fires. Louis Orr can't get it. Hallman rebounds for Purdue. Walker with the ball.
I think Syracuse starting in the zone to keep Bowie out of early foul trouble.
Arnett Holman can't connect. Moss, the little guy, up high for the rebound. Off the head, on the run. He took too many steps. No basket. Traveling the call.
Has an aggressive drive, though. Jimmy Boeheim loves that. You can see that he doesn't want to see a guy be timid going in there. Look at Moss on that rebound. Hits out here to head, and we'll see the traveling violation. Picked it up a little too soon. There it is. Good call.
Good pressure in the backcourt. And finally had to Drake Morris, 33. Carroll, he likes to work that baseline. Outside to Walker. Short, Bowie rebound. 2-2 tie here at Purdue.
The problem with Purdue is their outside shooting. It's suspect.
You figure they'll stay in their zone? Syracuse will use that zone, try to make them shoot from outside?
Have to prove themselves from outside first.
Tight man-to-man. Walker, good ball handling, steal man.
Head off to Moss, and Moss left alone. Can't hit it. And Carroll wins that battle over Bowie for the rebound. Drake Morris. They'll wait for the big guy to get in the picture, and there he is. Walker sets it up. Transferred from North Carolina State, he and his brother, although they grew up in nearby Lebanon, Indiana. Tipped in. Barry Carroll tips it home, and a foul on Bowie. So Carroll has the early lead in his matchup against Roosevelt Bowie.
Very difficult in that zone to block a man out that tight to the basket. We'll see the play right here. Now watch, Carroll's got excellent position on the other side of the basket. Dick, I think the ball was in the cylinder and shouldn't have been a basket. Foul should have been called, but not a basket. On him early.
After those zebras, Billy Becker. Joe Barry Carroll has all 5 Purdue points. 5-2, and the Orangemen go on offense.
Against the same type of pressure on the other end.
Right. Marty Head inside against Carroll. Carroll takes it away, and he is fouled by Head. Now, Joe Barry Carroll, he's playing with much more emotion than we saw him yesterday in the victory against Michigan.
Well, obviously not a good decision by Head to try to put it up when he's got him right on his body. Maybe trying to draw an early foul, but certainly not going to get that shot off inside.
5-2 the score. Carroll helping out in backcourt.
Same type of zone pressure on both teams' part. Good pass.
Great block. They'll call that goaltending. The basket counts,
and a technical foul on Jimmy Boeheim. No, he's going to call it goaltending, just 2 shots. I thought he called a technical on Boeheim. Boeheim is really up.
Boeheim is furious. He felt that was a great block. Here it is.
We'll see it right here, and it is a good block.
What's happening with Roosevelt Bowie, he gets off his feet real fast. And I don't think the officials are accustomed to a college kid getting off that quick, especially at that size.
A costly whistle against Syracuse. Purdue leads 7-2. We'll be right back. Morris credited with a basket. Watch it again. Roosevelt Bowie.
This is a good block, Dick. You can go up there and get that ball as it leaves the man's hands. I think the official was surprised how high he got up there.
Here's another angle on it, Joey. On the last angle, he hit the backboard after blocking the shot, and that is illegal.
Oh, hit the back.
No technical foul was called on the play. It's 7-2. Syracuse with the ball trailing Purdue. Thus far, Joe Barry Carroll putting on a clinic. Head inside to Lewis Orr. He's the most consistent of the two. Roosevelt Bowie's first shot isn't there. Payton rebounds, knocked away. We told you about Brian Walker's quick hands inside. He knocked it away. Drake Morris for the Boilermakers. Heading to Allman almost intercepted. Morris not there. Bowie hauls in the rebound for Syracuse.
Bowie got away with a push that time, and Allman almost drove him out of the sideline.
Orr from Cincinnati, Ohio. The head. Orr traveled. Turnover to Purdue. Well, thus far, the Orangemen in 3 minutes and 8 seconds have scored but 2 points.
You know, we talked about the Bowie-Carroll matchup, but the Hallman-Orr matchup's also a great one. A great defensive player, and Orr being an outstanding offensive player.
Walker, it's 3-on-1. Underneath for Carroll. Great feed by Walker. It's 9-2 Purdue.
And Carroll showed what kind of athlete he was because he expected the lob. It was a bounce pass, and he caught it anyway. Great play.
Orr
Morris as he goes over Carroll for his first bucket. It's 9-4. Jim Boeheim, who played with Dave Bing in the backcourt on those great Syracuse teams, told a great story last night. He said that once he scored the first 4 baskets of the game, 4 for 4, and then a fan shot out, "When are you going to give it up to Bing?"
Well, they were roommates. Man-to-man defense here.
Edmondson unable to hit, and a foul underneath goes against Arnett Holman, number 45. Coach Lee Rose calls him the hub of the Purdue defense and the best defensive forward in the Big Ten.
At the beginning of the game, Syracuse went to his zone to try to take the crowd out. Coach Boeheim would prefer to play man-to-man until Roosevelt Bowie gets in foul trouble.
Syracuse trailing 9-4, 4 minutes gone, first half.
Now we have the other Walker, Steve Walker, in the ball game. That was the first time, and we'll see if Syracuse stays with the man-to-man. It worked successfully.
Moss to Orr, likes to work that baseline outside to Payton.
Steve Walker on him. Aggressive player.
Payton knocked away, and it goes to Purdue. Boeheim didn't like that call.
Another Syracuse dropping back, taking the pressure off. They feel that they're getting mismatched down to the other end with their press. Going straight man-to-man. Now we'll see that confrontation.
Lee Rose has substituted to put in a smaller team, a better outside shooting team.
They'll somehow get it to Joe Barry Carroll. There he is.
Line drive by Carroll. He has 9 points already, and it's 11-4 Purdue.
Trying to get the ball into Louis Orr's hands.
Carroll's working on the defensive end, too. Not just a one-end type deal here.
Orr working against Steve Walker. Inside to Bowie. He gets away from Carroll, scores, but no basket. The foul is on Joe Barry Carroll before the shot. First foul on Carroll.
I think that was a very nice clear out that time for Bowie to put Carroll in a position where he had no help whatsoever.
Joe Barry Carroll goes out as you see the replay of that foul, and number 35, Ted Benson, a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, is in for Purdue. He is 6'10", or listed as such, went to Westminster High School. Played well yesterday in the Michigan victory, 68-61, Purdue winning that one.
Zone in the out-of-bounds play.
Tough to win here at Purdue if you're the enemy. Only 25 times the visitor has gone away with a victory in 160 chances. 11-4.
Staying in the zone.
Orr pops from 20. Won't drop. And Benson pushing off against Benson as he got rid of Bowie but was caught for it.
This is a pretty good move by Lee Rose to go ahead and use some fouls. The Joe Hall principle right here. He comes in, pushes around. Maybe he can pick up another one on Roosevelt Bowie.
He's looking for an exchange here. I also thought he didn't like the way that Carroll was playing defensively against Roosevelt.
Third team foul now against Purdue and 2 against Syracuse. Bowie has it knocked away inside, and then Purdue loses it out of bounds in front of our broadcast position. It'll be Syracuse back the other way.
That was Kevin Stallings that reached down in. You can see the crowd that Bowie's drawing. Boy, there were 5 men around him that time when he touched it. He has a bad habit of putting the ball down on the floor. Makes him susceptible for the steal.
Marty Head, he likes that shot. And again, it won't fall.
Oh, nice pass.
Bowie bats it home. No, it's Lewis Orr that got the rebound basket. It's 11-6.
That was Eric Sanford, Dick. I think that they're going to give the credit to on that one.
All right, number 40, Sanford, just into the game. Tapped that one home. He's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, a freshman. There's the lob over Sanford. Unable to connect Drake Morris, but I believe Sanford had a piece of him.
Nice pass by Stallings to the inside. With his height, he gets a good lob.
Carroll is back in.
Off good.
Here's the lob coming right up. Very well executed.
It was Eddie Moss who picked up the foul over the shoulder.
You know, on that lob, Al, a lot of times guys seem to have the tendency, instead of waiting for it and pinning their man defensively, they get that little push off and get caught every time.
The idea on the lob is you don't move till the ball breaks the plane on top of your head, an imaginary plane. And once it breaks the plane on top of your head, then you move towards the basket. At the tip of the tongue.
Drake Morris is 1 for 2 from the line. He's one of the better Boilermaker free throw shooters. It is not a good Purdue free throw shooting team thus far. They're under 70%.
12-6 the score. 6 minutes gone. Oh, what a rejection. Joe Barry Carroll rejects Roosevelt Bowie.
Wow, he came down with snow on his shoulders.
That's got this crowd on its feet. Marty Head quiets them as he hits a 20-footer, 12-8.
Well, he's been shooting good from outside this year.
Ray Morris working in the corner.
Back in the zone there, Billy.
Yeah, they're back in the zone. Bowie right in the middle, 2-3.
Carroll comes outside to try a 15-footer, not there. Tipped in. Drake Morris, number 33.
Well, with Carroll coming outside, it brings Bowie out just far enough to take him away from rebounding position, and that's what happened that time. Morris was able to sneak in the middle. They're still working on Carroll.
Bowie inside. That Carroll foul is against 45, Arnett Holman.
Holman's a player. He's a great defensive ball player. He's coming off fluid ball. But watch how he helps out. Watch him go over. See this? He's really an elevator man, Billy.
He was a great play right there. It saved Joe Barry Carroll because he raised his hand. Carroll thought the foul was on him initially.
At the line, Roosevelt Bowie from Kendall, New York, where he was a two-time New York Small High School Player of the Year. They call him the Gentle Giant. In some ways, that is not a nickname you'd want from a big man. You don't want him to be too gentle.
Well, he has a different philosophy than Joe B. Carroll has. His philosophy is that every shot's a pass to him. Every missed shot, off the glass or off the rim.
14-9. Bowie looking for his 4th point of the game. Purdue's lead is cut to 4. Carroll picks it off. And score. Boy, the Boilermakers really hit the board to make a read of the ball.
That was great team rebounding right there, Dick. They just played patty cake with the ball that time.
Inside, kicked away by number 40, Sanford. 14-10, Purdue.
Sanford has to be some freshman if he's playing ahead of Red Bruin. Red Bruin was one of the most sought-after ball players in the country.
Tony Bruin. We'll see him later. We now see number 44, Dan Shays, in for Syracuse, son of the great NBA star, Dolph Shays.
I think it's a good move. They need to get some more size in there. Purdue playing right over the top of Syracuse at this point.
You got back there now, Billy. 6'11", 6'11", and 6'9".
The lob to Carroll. Deflected away. Walker to Scarce. The freshman. Hit. Mike Scarce. He went to the same high school in Lexington, Kentucky, as Lee Rose, the head coach of Purdue.
And also the assistant coach went to the same.
Everett Bass.
Now Cohen in the ball game, another good shooter. Never gets the ball.
Dan Shays took that extra step, and it's Purdue going the other way, leading by 6. 12:05 remaining in this first half.
You know what's interesting about this score, Al? You get the feeling Purdue is way ahead. Just in the flow of this game, and yet they're not. They're only up 6.
Walker, nice play by Head, but it goes out of bounds. But they try to set up Edmondson, a tall guard who likes to move inside, take his man in and post him up. Timeout with 11:53 remaining in the first half at Purdue. The Boilermakers lead the Orangemen by 6. 11:53 remaining in the first half. Purdue has outshot Syracuse from the floor, and that's reflected in the score at 16-10 Boilermakers. This is just the start of a big day here on NBC for you. Right after this game, more basketball of a different kind. The Buccaneers, the incomparable Meadowlark Lemon, and the Buccaneers, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, great ball handler Marcus Haynes will all be featured on Sports World, 4:30 Eastern Time. It'll be the Bob Hope Desert Classic following basketball. So college basketball and Meadowlark Lemon and Company, and then the Bob Hope Desert Classic live here on NBC. So stay right where you are.
Dick, that shooting percentage that Syracuse has, of course, is way down, but so far this year, Purdue's keeping people down around the 40% range, which shows they're playing great defense.
They were the top defensive team in the Big Ten last year, allowing opponents to hit only an average of 61 points a game, and only one team in the last 20 has shot better than 50% against Purdue. Scarce can't connect, and finally it's Lewis Orr bringing down the ball for Syracuse.
Tony Bruin, the young man, that's he with the ball that Al McGuire alluded to is in the game. That's Hal Cohen. Cohen can't hit. Shays gets the rebound. Walker takes it away. Edmondson scores. Steve Walker leads the Big Ten in steals. He's got 2 more today.
Unbelievable hand. That was a great shot at the end, and he went too far into the basket.
Cohen's pass to Bruin goes out of bounds, and Purdue gets the turnover. At this point, Syracuse trying to get back in the game too quickly. The pace that they're playing at really is going into Purdue's hands. That time, Bruin really wasn't ready to anticipate a pass.
There's a lot of pressure on Syracuse. The monkey's on their back. They're representing the East, and a lot of people feel that their record hasn't been that good. I think they're an excellent ball club.
They moved out their offensive structure to try to get Carroll the ball in a different way. Roosevelt Bowie reaching around, picks up the foul. Second foul on Bowie. That time they set up a real high post situation. Now Bowie's fouling, no question about him. He had him from the backside.
He'll come in with Shays now to pick him up man-to-man or play that part of the zone.
That's going to be trouble. Shays, 6'11", number 44. Some of the old-timers will remember that his daddy wore number 4.
Well, his father was a great player at NYU and a fabulous pro career, mainly at Syracuse National.
18-10, Purdue with a lead. Inside to Carroll. Oh, beautiful. What a play. Joe Barry Carroll and a foul. Carroll has now scored in double figures for the 54th. That was a move that you won't get level by anybody playing center. Watch this fake. Fake one way. Pump. Go by. Dunk on the inside. And 12 NBA scouts here today, and their eyes must be widened by the play of Joe Barry Carroll. He's done everything.
Well, I don't know why they're watching the obvious. He's a number 1 draft choice in the NBA next year.
21-10, Purdue leads, and Carroll has a dozen. Sandifer can't hit, and Tony Bruin at 6'4", he has a 42-inch vertical leap, and he was up high to knock in the rebound. In fairness to Carroll, he almost blocked the shot and then just about did get the rebound. Here's that high post offense again. Approaching the midpoint of this first 20-minute period. The lob does not work. Lewis Orr for Syracuse to Cohen. Shays, good outside shooter.
Should be 2.
21-14. Shays likes that 20-foot perimeter shot.
So did his father like it.
Lee Rose wanted him to keep that pressure on. That lob was well intended last time. Carroll just a little tired right now. He's taking some deep breaths out there. 9:45 left in the half. Mike Scarce got there. Out of bounds. Last touch by Shea. We have a football score at the moment. 21-14. Purdue leads Syracuse.
I was surprised Scarce took that shot. I thought he should have punched it into Joe B.
Yeah, he was wide open inside. You know, Walker is just shocking everybody on the boards. He goes up not necessarily to catch them, but just to knock bodies loose and really doing a good job. This is Walker with the ball. The younger Walker, he's a junior.
Now, the whole offense here is to get the ball into Carroll. Now, watch how he'll get the ball all of a sudden. Turn around.
Edmondson in the right spot, but he's short. Gets his own rebound and scores. Keith Edmondson. 4 points for him. Carroll's a little tired right now, and that might be why that ball slipped out of his hand. Eric Sandifer can't connect. Neither can Bruin. Sandifer foul on Carroll of Purdue. And that'll mean that Carroll will come out. Lee Rose in the first half. As soon as Joe Barry Carroll gets his second foul, he'll sit out the rest of the half. And we have 9 minutes left.
Well, this is the way. I think it's a good move. I believe when a coach is going to save a ball player, in the first half he stays him after the second foul. In the second half, he stays him after the third foul. Because when a ball player gets his fourth foul, he's no good to anybody. He puts around out there.
So Carroll will sit it out. Syracuse taking bad shot selection. They're trying to rush the action so much that they're not getting any consistency.
That wasn't a bad shot for that kid, Billy. That guy can fill it up.
Reminder that later in the game we'll be announcing our $1,000 scholarship on behalf of Gillette Track 2 to the most valuable player in this game. Little doubt who will get the vote right now. Inside. Mike Spears can't hit. Shays is fouled by Benson, and that is the second foul on the freshman center for Purdue. Nice offensive structure. We see Bowie coming back in the game. Jimmy Boeheim's going to take a gamble there. Here's that lob. Purdue does it very well on the inside. Shares just does miss it. And here's Shays going up, doing a good job with a two-handed rebound. That's 16 fouls on Purdue, 5 against Syracuse. I feel Syracuse is starting to come. Travel by Sanford, and the Orangemen have hurt themselves with a turnover. Pretty good job by Benson going out that time defensively. Unofficially, turnovers, 7 charged for Syracuse, only 2 for Purdue. Whistle away from the ball, and a blocking foul against 23 Mike Scarce of Purdue. That is the 7th foul against the Boilermakers. The bonus in effect. Here comes 41 for the Boilermakers. That's John Kitchell. He rarely plays. 6'5" sophomore from Galveston, Indiana. He's played in only 8 games, scoring 8 points.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Lee Rose go to a delayed game. Even though they got a 9-point lead, I've got a feeling that the momentum is swinging on to Syracuse. And I think Coach is going to pull up a little bit here and try to get the rhythm back to Purdue.
Eric Sandifer has his first point. He says, be sure to say hello to Mom and Grandma up there in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They said, those are the 2 most beautiful people in my life. Like to hear that from the young man. 1 for 2 for Sandifer. 23-15, and Purdue has the ball.
Surprisingly, Syracuse has 2 freshmen out there.
Foul on Sandifer, caught reaching in. Jimmy Boeheim does have a couple of the fine young freshmen in the country, and this lad, Sandifer, and Tony Bruin, who is highly recruited, and yet Sandifer has outplayed him thus far.
You know, I think this probably is the deepest team from the East as far as athletes are concerned that I've seen, Dick. They really have about 10 outstanding athletes. And
totally are now in the bonus.
Big overplay. I'm surprised they don't try to get another foul on Bowie.
Kitchell, and then he fouled. Eddie Moss took the ball away from Kitchell, and then Kitchell fouled and trying to retrieve it. They call him Country.
Kitchell. Syracuse is much quicker than Purdue. Purdue is more off the shoulder, block and tackle, Vince Lombardi type play. And as this game gets more into a playground game, it's an advantage to the Orangemen.
Now, I want to bring up that point again, Billy. The pressure on Syracuse in that they're not just representing their own fine, unbeaten string, the best in 55 years, but they're representing Eastern basketball. And the image of basketball, great as it's been in the East, has slipped somewhat in the last few years. And I know a lot of folks are rooting for Syracuse in the eastern part of the nation to represent them well.
And here's a surprise. Joe Barry Carroll coming back into the ball game with Hallman.
I'm telling you, Billy, Lee Rose is a tremendous coach, and he's trying to stop Syracuse's momentum.
But that goes against what you said. There were 2 fouls. I expected him to stay on the bench.
If you want to save the guy.
No, he didn't say that.
I did. If you want to save a person, you take him out with 2 fouls, not 3 like you would do in junior high school, Billy.
Eddie Moss hits the free throws. Time out, gentlemen. With 7:54 remaining in the first half, it's now the Boilermakers 23 and the Orangemen 17. Jim Boeheim, not only a fine compliment to Dave Bing in his playing days at Syracuse, but as the head coach of the Orangemen, in his 3 previous years, won 26, 22, 26 last year, and 13-0 out of the gate this season.
The only surprising thing about his career, he was 4 years an assistant before he got the head job. But that year he got the head job, he applied for the head coaching job at the University of Rochester, which is a Division III school. And the day he was supposed to go up to sign the contract, the head coach left for Tulane, and he got the head coaching job at Syracuse.
Danforth went to Tulane, and Boeheim then stayed at his alma mater, and they're glad to have him. 23-17, Purdue leading Syracuse. Just under 8 minutes left in the first half. Dick Enberg, Al McGuire, Billy Packer, we're pleased you joined us here in Big Ten country.
And Louis Orr hasn't got one track, so that's got to make Boeheim feel like he'll get moved.
Walker was wanting to go
off to Carroll, and Carroll stopped short, and Walker took the extra step. Syracuse the other way.
The key to that was defensive play by Roosevelt Bowie. He faked going out and created the walk.
Looks like zone defense coming up for Purdue. 1-2-2, very basic type defense.
Since Purdue led 21-10, Syracuse has outscored the Boilermakers 7-2, make it 9-2. And now the Boilermakers lead is cut to 4. Edmondson, for the second time, follows his own missed shot. 6 points for him.
They really needed that basket.
Not there, and a foul will be on 11 Edmondson. He got him in the head with a hand.
Well, you know Louis Orr is going to break loose. He is not a big physical specimen, but the guy can play inside. Very good player.
When he first came to Syracuse, he was 163 pounds. Now he's 200, Billy, so he's coming along.
Next Saturday, gentlemen, and Sunday, we've got some great basketball action, regional games on NBC, followed by Notre Dame and UCLA, and we'll be featuring that outstanding rivalry at halftime. And then a week from today, another big game, unbeaten DePaul. They should be number 1 in the country against LSU. Almost knocked in by Bowie. Syracuse with the ball, trailing by 6.
If Syracuse wins here, they might think they're number 1.
Bowie's open and not getting him the ball in there.
They want to work on Joe Barry Carroll.
You don't have to get the ball in the Bowie. They got good outside shooting.
Nice pass to Orr, but he misses the shot. I think he was waiting for Joe Barry Carroll to loom up. Another easy shot missed by Purdue and out of bounds to Syracuse.
That's one of the advantages of having the Joe Barry Carroll, is that he intimidates just by being in the middle. He plays a one-man zone. He's like an octopus.
25-19. Syracuse trails. Eddie Moss travels. I thought he might have gotten away with one before they finally called the second anyway, and the official said, I'm not going to let you do that again. Lee Rose, now 44 years of age, been a winner everywhere he's coached. At his alma mater, Transylvania, at UNC Charlotte, where you met him a couple of years ago.
I met him in the semifinals, and we blew him out.
Yeah, 51-49 on a goal by Whitehead they're still talking about.
Yeah, hairline decision.
Drake Morris can't connect. And Sanifer up there with the big boys for the rebound. Moss steadies the ship, head back in. Marty Head with a shaved head.
He's going to shoot when he gets a chance. Hesitate the outside shot.
Bowie wants the ball, but they can't get it to him.
He's playing over there on Hallman's side. He did a lot better when he was over here on Drake Morris's side.
Oh, another travel against Moss. So Syracuse continues to turn it over. Number 10, Hal Cohen, replaces Eddie Moss. Jim Boeheim gives Moss a little bit too eager.
Now the backcourt combination for Syracuse is Conehead.
Oh, Cohen and Head indeed. Inside, Carroll. Oh, my. It's a basket.
Oh, see two men higher. No, that looks like Kareem against Wilt. Watch them go upstairs here. That is a good block. I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong, Billy.
All right, but what an effort by Bowie. Here it is again.
There it is.
Oh.
On the way down.
14 points for Carroll. Back to live action. Marty Head gets one for Syracuse. He has 4 points. That's Drake Morris hits the side of the board. Bowie hauls in the rebound. Bowie's hurt. Bowie got one in the head, I believe, like staking off a right cross, and he's down court.
And he's got his fist clenched coming down. I sure wouldn't want to get in his way.
He's looking for the lob. What a play. Out of bounds to Syracuse.
You couldn't lob over Holman if you were Johnny Unitas.
That's the problem. He's sitting on Hallman's side. They're trying to lob over the best defensive player around.
Arnett Holman, number 45. Look at, he's hawking that inbounds pass.
What happened? It hit the referee in the back.
Santa Walker. Not there. Rebound Morris. 27-21 Purdue. Whoops, he traveled, no call. Inside, Walker. Tipped by Carroll. Joe Barry Carroll, 16 points. 29-21. With 4 minutes left. Bowie can't score. And the foul is against Stone. Make a call on that foul right now, Billy. Foul is against Head for blocking. Timeout, Syracuse. Listen to the fans at Purdue. 4 minutes left. 29-21 the score. Said no fouls and repeated no fouls. That's the most important thing that he was stressing with 3:58. And here was what he was talking about, Al.
Well, I think what he's trying to do is get in with the lead he has at the present time. There's 4 minutes left. He liked the game with about an 8 or a 9 point lead, and he wants his ball players not to have turnovers and not to commit any fouls.
Walker at the line. And it's now 30-21. Dick reopens their lead.
Excuse me, here's a guy leading the club in assists with about 75 assists. Only has been to the line this year 11 times. And he's handling the ball that much.
10-point lead for Purdue. Their biggest was 11. Syracuse has never been in front. Head outside. He's way short. Cohen gets the rebound. Oh, nice play. He had to get it up in a hurry. Cohen in the land of the Giants.
The Hallman went out. He couldn't believe somebody wasn't there to help block out a little bit. When he went out of there, of course, Cohen was able to come right down.
Cohen, a senior from Canton, New York, has his first hoop. Drake Morris gets away from Marty Head. It's an interesting battle between Orr and Holman underneath, as now Carroll and Bowie go at it.
Straight man-to-man. Bowie's got to be very, very careful at this point.
Carroll along the baseline, hits again. Oh, he's got that 10-footer down pat.
He's not only a great player, Purdue probably does more to get him the ball in good position than any team in college basketball.
Carroll slipping to the floor. He's okay. And now a 3-second violation against Syracuse. When Carroll went down, I believe Bowie said, "Get me the ball. I'm here. Nobody around me." And no one got it to him. And he got the 3-second call.
Fell asleep on the count.
10-point Purdue lead. 3:06 remaining first half.
Double team.
Holman over Orr. Arnett Holman. He now has a total of, that's his first bucket.
And that was excellent defense that he was shooting off right in the face.
That's the biggest Purdue lead, 35-23. Remember, Syracuse is unbeaten, 13-0, ranked 5th in the nation.
It's a nickel and dime series, because Purdue's ranked 10th. 5 against 10.
Cohen connects. 35-25, 4 points for him. 2:21 left in the first half.
Hey, Carroll, bring that ball up the court.
Not too bad. Tripped over Bowie. Walker to Carroll.
Bowie goes out and challenges him at the forward position.
And a foul away from the ball on Lewis Orr for holding Holman. Say, next Sunday on NBC, we'll continue our countdown to the 1980 Olympic Games with the U.S. Olympic Invitational Track Meet from Madison Square Garden. Among the Olympic hopefuls expected to compete will be Houston McTeer, Ronaldo Nehemiah, and Mike Tilley. Great track field action. That's next Sunday here on NBC. Holman at the line. Bowie can't get the rebound. Missed shot, and again Purdue comes up with a loose ball. Walker with it. Holman knocked away by foul. And the lead pass to Head, but Walker beats him down court.
Hey, looks like we're playing field hockey.
Head, 10-footer, misses. Walker the other way.
Oh, here's a dunk.
He goes up. He grabbed the rim. That's a technical.
He got it, too. A technical against Holman. The basket is good. And the fans here in Purdue are very sensitive about the call because it's been called hangs on.
I think the people out, the fans that are watching, that if you get 3 technical fouls, you're out of the game. Last week, Billy Joe Carroll had 2, and he picked up 1 more for grabbing the rim. He'd be out for the rest of the evening.
That's why Lee Rose, he's very sensitive about it. Carroll is playing tentatively, and that's one of his big scoring plays, and they alley-oop the dunk. Here's Marty Head to try to connect on the technical. And he hits it. 37-26. It'll be Syracuse with the ball. Boeheim is discussing with one of the officials, hey, at the other end, a lot of slapping going on, but no whistle. What happened?
You know, Dick, that whole sequence started with a foul by Louis Orr when he came down on Hallman's wrist, so maybe that equaled out.
Sandifer.
Man-to-man, and now Joe Barry Carroll's out of the ball game, and they go back to the aggressive man-to-man. Just protected him in the zone there during that 4-minute sequence.
1:30 remaining in the half. Bowie against the freshman Benson connects. Good play by Bowie. 37-28 to score. Bowie now has 6 points.
Walker's so quick. He gets his hand in almost every time when Roosevelt Bowie gets the ball.
Time remaining as we approach the 1-minute mark. Purdue with a 9-point lead. They'll try to run the clock down, keep it for a minute.
I'd try to go in a double-digit lead. Take 9, maybe possibly 11. Both teams are in a 1-1, so they can't come out and foul you intentionally.
Walker. Great Morris. That was a technical foul on Morris, and Lee Rose can't believe it.
I don't think he bent his fingers around the rim. I call it a technical foul when they put their fingers around the rim, not their wrist. Here it is, Billy. Let's see it.
That's an excellent old blind pig play. He goes down in there.
I don't think that should have been a technical foul either, Al. I'd agree with you.
Wait a minute. You mean you both agree?
I don't even think that one was close to grasping the rim.
I don't either. Marty Head, kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So Head gets half of it back for Syracuse to make it a 39-29 game, and Syracuse with the ball. 50 seconds left. That was really sensitive to that call here at Purdue. You can bet on that.
That was a set play. It was beautifully set up. Went from the weak side, went back door, and automatic 2.
Drake Morris with a hoop for Purdue. Morris now with 7 points. Carroll on the sidelines with 18 to lead all scorers.
Tight man-to-man by basically a second-unit player in there at the pivot position. Walker, both Walkers out there. Can't consider either one of them a nice.
Moore got it into Bowie, but Walker reached in number 12 with a foul. You're right. Every time Bowie gets the ball, Walker's sloughing off, coming inside to try to help out, although that was the other Walker, number 12, Steve, the senior, Brian, number 20, who starts as a junior.
That was an outstanding pass by Eddie Morse that time.
Roosevelt Bowie at the line. 62% free throw shooter. Let's just sorry the refs are having technical difficulties. We know the feeling. Very absorptive. Bowie not a particularly good free throw shooter.
Well, he missed that one. He should really step off the line and reset himself.
39-30 the score. 32 seconds left in the half. Benson, the freshman,
he catches the ball well for a big, strong guy.
22 seconds left.
You know, Benson, both his parents are doctors. Father's a dentist and his mother's a baby doctor. Matter of fact, he's being recruited. The mother had to go out and deliver a baby when Lee Rose was down there signing him up.
7 seconds. Purdue going for the final shot. Benson over Bowie. Great pass. Edmondson misses the easy layup, and the first half comes to an end. They're 10-2 this season, losing only to Kentucky and Ohio State. Here are the first half statistics. 39-30 is the score. Purdue leading.
What's interesting there, both of these clubs shooting up around 54% on the year, both shooting well under their percent average, probably due to the intensity of the defense.
And now look at that turnover, second to the bottom column.
Well, that's the key. A turnover can mean 4 points. 2 you're supposed to get and 2 your opponents get. There's no possible way that there should be a spread of 7 turnovers.
Individual scoring, the only man on either team in double figures is Joe Barry Carroll, the Giants center for Purdue, with 18 points. Roosevelt Bowie with 7 leads Syracuse.
How's my prediction going on 25 shots, Dick?
He got 11 in the first half, did Carroll, made 8 of them.
Foul 39-30 as Syracuse, its unbeaten streak on the line.
Foul trouble, Dick. Both of the big guys with 2, so that'll be interesting to watch early here in the second half.
Carroll again wins the tap to start the half as he did to open the ball game. So we introduce the players. Arnett Holman stolen by Eddie Moss. Moss against Walker. Fans thought that bobble was a turnover.
Now he just tried to get control.
But Dan Shea starts the second half into Bowie, and a foul is against whom? Reaching in Walker, number 20.
I think Walker gets away with a lot of fouls because they're watching the tall men. They're looking up above, and Walker comes in below. We kind of snapped at the ball.
That's an expert describing that foul. Coach McGuire, you were pretty good at that, weren't you? Bowie scores, and it's 39-32 Purdue.
Busted right through the zone defense.
Just underway in the second half. Stolen for a moment by Moss, and then over and back. So Moss created the turnover. Good defensive play back-to-back by Eddie Moss.
Walker had 4 turnovers in the first half. Walker felt he never had possession after Moss made the steal. We'll see it right here. There's the steal. Walker, yes, he did have kind of possession before he went backcourt with it.
Orr sets up Moss for a 15-footer, and Syracuse comes out and hits 2 quick ones. It's 39-34 Purdue.
What do you want to bet they get the ball to Joe Barry Carroll this time down the floor?
Well, some fast Eddies have been causing the turnover.
Moss hawking Walker. Inside it goes to Hallman. He's short, and the rebound goes to Moss. He's all over. Moss brings it down 2-on-1. Lob to Bowie, and Syracuse gets 6 quick points. Well, you bet. Purdue calls time, but it's not acknowledged. And now timeout. So Eddie Moss on all 3 of the hits by Syracuse was the key factor.
Here he comes down. Beautiful lob pass up. Bowie catches well. Joe Barry Carroll not in the picture.
That's the closest Syracuse has been since the first 2 minutes of the game. 39-36. Syracuse rings up 6 unanswered points to open the second half and cut Purdue's lead to 3.
There's 3 times in the game where you win it. The first 3 minutes of the game, the last 3 minutes of the game, and the other most important part is the first 3 minutes of the second half. Most teams come out and don't warm up properly.
Neither team really warmed up much, did they?
That's
another bad pass.
And Ed Moss had part of that again.
Louis Orr sets up Moss. So Eddie Moss has just been brilliant defensively. He's come up with 4 key plays. The first 3 produced quick Syracuse scores. Orr traveled. That's 3 times he's been pinned with that one.
You know, it's a shame that Louis Orr is not having a better game. He is a great basketball player, just off to a bad start. Jimmy Boeheim has to be concerned, but it also has to make him feel good in a way. He say, you know, sooner or later the guy's going to get into the game.
But hold it, you've got to give an awful lot of credit to Holmes.
No question.
Boeheim was arguing with the official, that is not a walk. Well, that was. He agrees. Boeheim applauds.
He's clapping on that one, yeah.
Dick, Eddie Moss is from the same high school as who?
Lou Alcindor, Kareem Jabbar, Power Memorial in New York, number 22 Moss. By the tradition, great basketball players out of the New York City school. Moss to Shays. Big guy from outside. Won't block for him. It remains 39-36, and Carroll had the rebound.
And he has not touched the ball offensively in the second half, and that's Purdue. Really surprises me in that one. There he touched it, but he's 30 feet from the basket.
Just want to make sure it still was round. Sets up Carroll. Basket, no good. Violation, foul before the shot on Shays. Good break for Syracuse. Tonight on NBC, Haley Mills and Dean Jones star a 2-hour Disney comedy classic, That Darn Cat, then Robert Vaughn and Terry Garr. In the world premiere of Dr. Franken, that sounds like a most interesting show. It's a chilling story of a modern-day Frankenstein. The big event has nothing to do with the Al McGuire-Billy Packer confrontations. But Dr. Franken tonight. Beauty and the Beast. Oh! Out of bounds as Walker could not save it. And Purdue struggling, as you said, the first 3 minutes of this second half. A basket by Syracuse pulls them within 1.
Brian Walker had 4 turnovers in the first half. He picked up 3 quick ones here in the second half.
Shays to Orr. Ahead. Good move by Head, and another traveling call against Syracuse.
He wants, Jimmy Boeheim is screaming, throw the ball. You don't need any one-on-one movement. Keep the ball moving.
In comes number 32, Kevin Stallings for Purdue, and Walker goes out.
This is what's great about college basketball. You never know when the worm's going to turn.
Well, there is the unpredictability of youth, and in some ways the air is created by a younger player, a less skilled player than a professional, and makes it. That makes it exciting.
There's Louis Orr trying to prevent Hallman from touching that ball. Hallman really quite a bit stronger, particularly upper body. He's able to get that position.
That's a third foul on Orr. Stallings to the free man Edmondson. He can't connect. Gets his own rebound as he has so many times. A foul on Eddie Moss for reaching in. Looked like he got the ball.
I think he came right down on the ball.
I thought it was pure too, though. But let's see if we can take a look at that.
Third foul on Moss.
Past Eddie. Got caught.
That's not a shooting foul. Shooting foul against Syracuse.
Watch the lob to Carroll.
Shea's good man to hawk that inbounds pass with his size. Into Carroll all alone. This is the shot. Nice rebound. Shea. Moss brings it up. All the way. Doesn't score. The foul is on whom? Moss or Stallings?
I would say on Stallings moving in.
Now that's what the call is.
Blocking. You don't see it called that way very often, but that is my unfavorite foul when it goes against the little guard, because I like to see the guards play.
He stepped in after the man had taken off the ground. You've got to give him a place to come down when he's gone up in that air.
If he has the ball.
Made him walk with 6 points, and that is really a misleading statistic. He has been outstanding the first 3 minutes of this second half. A little shy. Remains 39-36. Purdue has not scored in 3 minutes.
Okay, Eddie, take a deep breath. Relax, follow through. Have the ball touch your fingertips as it leaves. Good.
39-37, 7 points. Boy, a coach, you never take the coach out of the man, do you?
Take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy.
Carroll really trying to get position now. I'm sure Lee Rose told his ball club they've got to get it to himself.
Carroll and Shays inside, blocked. Bowie made the block, Shays with the ball, and here comes Syracuse with a chance to tie the game.
You know, I think the two big guys in there are really causing some problems, that being Shays and Bowie.
Bowie with the ball.
Foul.
Ball goes to Shays, and a scramble, and Purdue comes up with it.
Boy, Carroll went to the floor for it.
Oh, I thought we seen the last of all that time.
Moss almost knocked it away. Drake Morris can't hit. Boy, it is a fight under the boards, and now 2-on-1. Moss to head block. What a play by Drake Morris, number 33. And a technical foul against Boeheim. He can't believe it. Technical foul against Boeheim. He just ripped his coat off in anger.
He's got his shirt tail out. He is hot. You know, he is really an intense competitor, and he's very quiet, mild-mannered off the court, but is an intense competitor.
Jimmy, don't do the things I done. Kenny Rogers got a new song out.
Watch this right here.
Looks like a pretty good block.
Yeah, I think it's a good play.
But often you're arguing for the past ones, not the one at the present.
We'll see it coming up right here. A pretty good play. You remember that one early, though, that they called on Bowie as a goaltend? Maybe that's the one he was arguing about.
You know, in 12 years, Lee Rose has never had a technical foul.
Is that a good statistic or not?
I'd say it is not a good statistic, personally. But still, it's an honor to him. And
that's right, and he's proud of it.
It means he must have a good vocabulary.
Because he argues just like the rest of them. But it's the semantics that get better.
You know, Dick, I'll tell you something interesting, too, about this Purdue program here. In the last 15 years, they have the best Big Ten record of any team in the Big Ten in conference play.
And they have the best record all time in Big Ten. They've won 15 Big Ten championships.
But during that time, they've only won 2.
Hey, great coach. Freddie Schaus. He's a George King. Great coach.
George King now the athletic director who played his pro ball at Syracuse. 40-37, Purdue finally scoring a point here in the second half. 5 seconds against Drake Morris, who's Dan Shays did a good job defensively.
Boy, this is great man-to-man defense, and look at the confrontation inside we talked about early in the show. Carroll working for position. Bowie trying to hang with him. Oh, they're just all over him.
Get him a saddle. Hey, the difference out here has been Dan Shays. His body has made a difference.
Morris. Dan Chase didn't even jump.
Are they going to call it a jump or not?
Dan Chase didn't even jump. He didn't know the ball was being tossed.
Now that's his problem.
Nice pass, but he lost the ball, and a foul is called against Toon.
Boy, Shays is playing heads up.
Holman gets a foul.
But heads-up play by Shays that time. He stepped down in there when he saw the lob coming. He is, Al, the difference in the second half. Look at him. You know, he's a brilliant student. Plays the trombone.
He'll be the heir apparent to Bowie's spot next year as a senior.
Yep, the Louis Bowie Show, Act 4 leaves in March. We hope to get to Indianapolis if possible.
They'd like to get Louis off the ground here today.
Well, maybe we'll call it Lewis.
Inside to Bowie to score, and Syracuse is as close now as the opening of the game. They're down by only one, and Purdue has scored only 1 point in 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Got Walker back in the ball game, trying to get this offense rolling.
Yeah,
they really are.
There's Carroll coming outside, puts the move on Bowie, can't hit the line drive jumper, saves again. And now Syracuse with a chance to take the lead. The Orangemen are 13-0, one of only 2 major college teams unbeaten to fall the other with their victory last night at Marquette.
It's rare for Cal to take a shot outside the paint like he did that time.
Well, he hadn't touched it in so long. Maybe he's getting a little nervous.
Inside to Orr. And Orr can't connect. Gets his own rebound. Goes up. Blocked by Carroll. Orr tries again. Syracuse leads for the first time in the game. 41-40 with 14 and a half minutes left.
Now we go into Carroll definitely.
Moss doing a good job out there, too, keeping Walker from getting the easy pass.
Well, just take their time now. Might take maybe 10, 15 seconds.
But the turnover, but it goes right to Drake Morris, who scores. 42-41, Purdue's first basket of the second half, and it took almost 6 minutes.
And Dick, it didn't come off the offense. It was really an errant pass right there, so they're still going to have to prove they can score off the offense in the second half.
East against the Midwest, and it's 41-40, and another turnover. Traveling, and Boeheim's going to go to his bench and bring in Hal Coleman. So Head and Moss both have had trouble with the traveling call.
That's a good call. I think that what's happening to Head, he's getting a little bit too anxious to get his own shot off.
Later today on NBC Sports World, different kind of basketball. Don't miss the fun of the Buccaneers. You'll see Meadowlark Lemon, Wilkes Stoke Chamberlain, the great ball-handling wizard Marcus Haynes, and then after, NBC Sports World will take you to Palm Desert and the Mount Hope Desert Classic. Edmondson hits again. Keith Edmondson, long pass to Cohen. Back to Bowie. He travels. No basket. Travels.
Good call, Dick. He couldn't get his hands on that ball and plant his feet. Boeheim didn't like it, but it was a good call.
A reminder, with the early rain out in the desert country of California, one of the rounds postponed, you'll see the final round of the Bob Hope Desert Classic tomorrow, Monday tomorrow. So golf yesterday, today, and again tomorrow on NBC.
You know, we talked about good athletes at Syracuse, and I think that's what we're seeing out here in the second half, that they can't be worn down by...
Tony Bruin, 30, has come in. A brilliant freshman. Edmondson fouled by Bruin. It was a foolish foul. They hit him in the shoulder.
Yep. Shot was already underway.
I don't think they'll give him 2 shots, Billy. I think it will be on the side. No, they're going to give him 2 shots? The shot was already released, the shot. That's right.
Keith Edmondson at the line. We'll get 2.
Keith Edmondson has a little bit of problem this year. He used to play forward, and they moved him to guard. He's an excellent shooter.
He had 2 stitches in his tongue yesterday, hit in the mouth. Oh, that has to be painful.
The kids call him Ice. I don't know why. That's his nickname.
He's from San Antonio, Texas, and he's in double figures with 10 points, and Purdue now opens up a 5-point lead. 46-41.
Bowie stepped in there awful early that time. Going to have to be careful with that.
Eddie Moss turns it over to Edmondson. Here come the Boilermakers. Drake Morris, 48-41. Morris has 11.
He gets out in the break real fast, Morris.
Over 14,000 at Mackey Arena sellout to cheer the Boilermakers. They now have opened up the lead and a foul away from the ball. It's against Holman for blocking Orr away from the ball.
Hallman really has done a super job defensively in New York. He just keeps the ball away from him.
Mike McGill, a brilliant shooter from Michigan yesterday, he shut him out 0 for 8 the first half yesterday.
Well, I think against Orr, he can muscle Orr.
Not now, because he's going to take a rest with 4 fouls. Replacing Hallman is the other Walker. Steve Walker, number 12.
Who did a good job in the first half, just keeping things active around the boards. Still, Joe Barry Carroll hasn't touched it much here in the second half offensively.
The 2 Walkers are from Lebanon, gentlemen. Quick trivia. What other great Purdue
Quick mouth, don't even ask me.
Okay. Boy, you really studied hard last night.
Well, no, he beat me in the game that put them into the Final Four when they lost to UCA.
Rick Mount, what a shooter. Still the all-time scorer here at Purdue.
Yeah. Well, one of the assistant coaches on Purdue now was on that team that beat us. Keller.
Billy Keller. Oh, what a great little guard he was. There are the 2 coaches, the 2 officials, the clocks, the problem, 12:41 on one clock and 12:42 on the other set of clocks at the end of the game. The official clock is at the Syracuse end, so there's 12:42 remaining in this game. 48-41, the important numbers on that board, and Purdue leads by 7.
See if Louis Orr can get on track right now.
They asked about Ed why he shaved his hair off, and he says for no reason at all. Just one day he came to practice and had it shaved.
Or, gentleman with a 15-point average has only 2 points in the game, and that has been a key factor for Hallman and Purdue to stop that brilliant senior from Cincinnati.
Well, he's really the leader of the team, and he's missed the consistency on the team, so it's rare that something like this is happening.
And now we get a timeout after that delay. Oh, 9:52, they're going to work on the clock. 12:42 is the time remaining. 12:42, and Purdue leads Syracuse 48-41.
I'm going to show you something really
The Boilermakers, after a cold start of this second half, didn't score for nearly 6 minutes from the floor. They now open a 7-point lead, 48-41, and now it's Syracuse. They need a bucket this trip down court.
Dick, I think that what we're going to see here is Jimmy Boeheim going to try to get Louis Orr on track. As you pointed out, he has had a bad day today from the standpoint of not being able to get in the offense. Now's the time to get him on track, try to get him rolling.
Working on a shorter man now. He has 2 inches over Walker. Shays. Oh, was it away?
It was a set play for him, but they didn't give him enough opportunity to get across the baseline.
He really stopped his cut that time.
Yeah.
Brian Walker.
Oh, Moss, nice job.
Oh, Moss has really been superb defensively this second half. Good build.
Very quick, and he anticipated what Walker was going to do that time. You could see the steal right in his eyes.
Hayes to Orr. Bowie inside on Carroll. You got to take it. Shays way smart. Everything. Recovered by Moss. Sets up Bowie. And does the basket count? No basket. Foul was on Walker, number 12. Brian Walker. Boy, he's not afraid as a little guy to get inside and muscle with the Sequoias, is he?
You know, when Brian was a freshman at North Carolina State, I saw him injure that knee, which has given him quite a bit of problem up here also, and it was really a tragic accident. It's good to see the kid has been able to recover to come back to have a great career here at Purdue.
Eric Sandifer, the freshman, is in for Syracuse. Head to Bowie. Walker inside on Carroll, and he scores. Carroll let him go, 48-43.
He really muscled that one, got inside position into the simple basket.
Bowie now has 15 points. He's really come back, had a good second half. 11:40 remaining in the game. Purdue by 5.
Eddie Moss has really an advantage in quickness on Walker, and therefore he stays right down with him.
It looks like they're trying to set up their alley-oop here.
Moss takes that alley-oop away a little bit by playing so tightly defensively, doesn't he?
Yeah, doing a good job.
Inside, and Edmondson can't connect. Batted out by Sandifer, and it's Moss again.
They've really taken away Purdue's half-court offense this entire second half.
Sandifer blocked by Carroll, and a foul on Bowie.
Reaching it.
But it was Joe Barry Carroll not only to block the shot, but then he gets a bonus of drawing a foul on Bowie. His third.
Yeah, all the pushing and shoving that they've been doing, and here he gets a cheap foul. Good block by Carroll, comes down with the ball. There's Bowie reaching in.
All of a sudden, Sanford's seen a wall go up in front of him, like a tidal wave.
That'll make it tougher for him next time he goes in there, too, won't it?
Well, he's a super freshman, and I think what they're doing with the two great freshmen they have, they're putting them in and taking them out, trying to build up their confidence. This is not a game for freshmen.
48-43 Purdue. Benson and Carroll in there. Over Bowie. Carroll hit. Carroll now with 21 points. He's outscored Bowie by 6. Notice how well he used his body. Stayed down low, bumped off, and still had room for the jumper. Back with his own defense with the two big men in the game now.
Or looking for his 4th point. Doesn't get it on that shot. And a 3-second call against Syracuse.
Orr shakes his head. He really is down on himself so far today. He's trying to pick himself back up, and as you pointed out, Al, he's such a consistent player, you'd expect him to get on track.
50-43, Purdue. Biggest lead in the first half was 12 points by the Boilermakers. Last touch by Bowie of Syracuse. Purdue will play it in.
He's trying to side Carroll, which he does a nice job with, and then he comes over the top as he did that time to be able to block the ball away.
Edmondson, 15-footer. 52-43, and Purdue, losing its lead at 41-40, has really come back. They've outscored Syracuse 11-2.
They got to bring Shays back in.
Got side, got there. Benson made the interception. He anticipated well.
Here comes the crowd.
9:45 left. Carroll! No technical on that one.
You notice how he pulls his hands away when he dunks now. He just throws his hands in the air.
Timeout Syracuse. The Boilermakers have outscored the Orange Men 13-2. 9:35 left. Purdue opens an 11-point lead, 54-43. The score here at Purdue, the Boilermakers 54, and Syracuse 13-0 coming in, 43. Checked in with the West Coast and the Bob Hope Desert Classic. 12 men are crowded within 4 shots of the lead, currently held by Larry Nelson and Vic Regalado, 11 under par. Statistician Suds Bailey says that Larry Nelson, fresh from a big year in '79, second leading money winner, trying to pick up a big one in that famed Hope Classic. You'll be able to see that right after our Buccaneers NBC Sports World show. Marcus Haynes, Meadowlark Lemon and company.
1-3-1 zone now by Purdue this time.
Moss right back to Orr, blocked by Carroll, and a foul on Bowie, I believe.
See if he came over the top. 22 on a
It was
hole.
Moss. It was Moss or was it Carroll? There are two 22s out there.
Looks like a call on Joe Barry Carroll prior to the time that they came over his back.
There it is there with the body, apparently.
He fouled them under the armpit.
Oh, he violated the lane. Roy Orr. Boy, he's having a rough day. You know how you pointed out that Shays would be coming back into the ball game, but what happened was just the opposite. Shays went out, and they brought Benson back in, and that's given Purdue the big advantage inside with power.
Orr hits the free throw after he lost the first of the two-shot opportunity on the lane violation. Carroll throws it away. Syracuse needs a little help at this point. They're down by 10. 9 minutes plus remaining in the game.
Under pressure, Carroll comes up and releases the pressure. But he handed off the man on the left side and down court.
That was Roosevelt Barnes. He said to say nice things about him now. He's your buddy. Number 44.
Barnes in there. Walking Orr.
Into Bowie, right through his hands, and it goes to Purdue. He was shielded a little bit on that pass. Carroll got his hands in the way, and he just didn't see it. He was going to wear 44. He should have gone to Syracuse, right? That's a famous number at Syracuse.
Dan Shays wears that. And of course, in football, that was Jimmy Brown,
Davis. Little, Davis.
Eddie McAllis.
Yeah. Where did you get that picture of me riding the horse?
Oh, you know, we went up to the Tetons in May, and you were up there thinking you
was
were
good, wasn't I?
You thought you were a cowboy in the cowboy saloon up there. You had some refreshments out of your hat.
I didn't do that, did I?
Yes, you did.
Roosevelt Barnes can't hit it. Rebound by Orr. It's East Skies. Both teams are in the bonus now with 8:43 remaining.
Good quickness by Moss.
Moss to Bowie. Back in that zone. Orr, 16-footer, way off the mark. He's in closer, loses the ball out of bounds, although knocked away by Walker.
Boy, Walker has quick hands, doesn't he? Incredible.
Now, we've said that 7-8 times today, but
It's
maybe
true.
something like the kid at North Carolina last year, Dudley.
Bradley. Purdue leads by 10. Head can't connect. Rebound to Barnes.
Nobody going on the break.
Purdue has allowed its opponents an average of just about 60 points a game. We told you they led the Big Ten in that department last year and doing even better this year. A steal, and then a foul. As reaching in was Barnes. Orr made the defensive play for Syracuse. They'll shoot it at the other end. Al
They're 1-1 now.
comes in for Syracuse, and Moss will go out.
They must get outside shooting. The good moves are coming in right now with Shays, who can hit from the outside, and also Cone.
How do you think you do against Marcus Haynes? We're going to see him with Meadowlark Lemon and Will Chamberlain. Could you have taken the ball away from Marcus?
Piece of cake.
Yeah. And then Bob Hope, Desert Classic. What's the best round of golf you've ever shot, Coach?
108. Legitimately.
Beat me by 2. Billy Packer's the golfer in this group. And his son beats him, I understand. Orr now has 4 points. Make that 6. 6 for Orr. 54-46. Purdue by 8. Now 8:08 left.
With 8 minutes to go, if Syracuse is going to make a move, they're going to have to make it in the next 4 minutes. They've got their lineup in the game.
Into Carroll. Around Bowie. Boy, he slithers for a big man. He can really weave his way in.
He looked like a black swan that time.
You almost have to force him to come back to the middle to get a little help because he's so smooth on that baseline.
Shays to Cohen. Good fake. Walker fouled him.
We see that move down on the baseline. Excellent feed inside. Bowie does a good job trying to put him out there. But look, he's behind the backboard with his entire body and still reaches around to make the play.
Nice little finger roll. That gives him 25 points. His average on the year is 25.2.
They say he's 7'1", but some people tell me he's a little bit over 7'2".
Well, if Bowie is 6'11", then Carroll isn't 7'1". He's got to be about 4 inches taller than Bowie.
And that was like Wilt Chamberlain. No one ever measured Wilt Chamberlain, his exact height. I was asking Fred Schaus last night, and he said he believes that Wilt is around 7'4" or 7'5".
Yeah, we'll see him on that show that'll follow on Sports World. The other was then Lou Alcindor at UCLA. Everyone disbelieved his height at around 7'2". But that was stocking feet. A lot of coaches measure their players in shoes. Stocking feet, he was 7'2".
You know, we'll have coming up in that Ohio State, another outstanding Big Ten team going against University of Virginia. We'll see that 7'4" Ralph Sampson in that game.
Anxious to see him. That's 2 weeks from now on NBC.
Good defense.
Marty Head. And a late whistle, now a jump ball.
I'm surprised someone didn't dive for Marty Head's head.
That could be dangerous, especially if you wanted to dribble it away.
There you go. He's okay.
He's going to grow. He's letting it grow back. He had it shaved cleanly, and now he's going to grow it back, he says.
He didn't like the nickname Curly. That's why he did it.
7:35 left, 56-48. You're hot today, Coach.
See if Purdue tries to break on this. Hop back. That's surprising. Had such a big advantage.
They got 2 big men in for Purdue. Benson at 6'10", and Carroll 7'1". New offensive structure. Carroll blocked by Bowie. Controlled by Moss. Carroll in the back court. Rose said, get out of there. Get back on defense.
He closed that out.
Big chance for Syracuse to pull it in 6. Sandifer out to Moss. Head, good fake.
He's going to hit this one. I told you. He was
56-50.
I'm sorry I insulted the young guy.
Blake Morris going down the sideline, but nobody from Purdue getting in position to help him.
Inside to Walker, and a steal by Orr.
like he was out of bounds, but no whistle. Sandifer, and a foul. Morris is fouled by number 20, Steve Walker. I think Syracuse is
Brian Walker.
Syracuse doing a real good job, and what's happening to Purdue, they're not allowing Joe Barry Carroll to get in either end of the court. He's spending all his time right in the middle.
It's been an interesting second half. A big run by Syracuse early, and then Purdue came back to open up a 10-point lead, and now the momentum seems to be with the Orangemen with 6:44 remaining. 50 Purdue, Syracuse at the line. Our producer today, George Finkel, Ken Fouts, the director, Dick Enberg, Al McGuire, Billy Packer, Mackey Arena, campus of Purdue. The Boilermakers lead previously unbeaten Syracuse 56-50. At times it did not look good for the visitors from the east, but they made another rally and have the ball at the line. Eddie Moss shooting 2. Purdue leads by 6.
They are a legitimate good ball club. They're not a fluke being in the top 10. Another team in the East that's legitimate is St. John's.
We'll see that later.
Yeah, we take them on against Louisville.
And now Purdue has their entire starting lineup back in the game. And Dick, I think this is the first time since the opening whistle they've been back in as a unit.
56-51 is Fast Eddie Moss, junior from New York. Looking for his 9th point. He's averaging less than 5. He's had a big second half.
He took that deep breath that time.
Oh, he almost leaped up and got that.
Purdue's lead. They built it up to 10. Now it's back to 4.
And the man. And the crowd is quiet. Oh, look at Bowie and Carroll in there. That's really some battle.
Carroll inside. Great Morris can't hit it. Over the top, Edmondson can't hit it. Comes back out to Purdue. They are the best offensive rebounding team we've seen this year. Knocked out of bounds by Walker.
Moss wanted to tap that ball over Walker's head to a man that would have been wide open down there, Sandifer. Oh, Rose really upset with what happened on that last play.
He's meditating.
Syracuse down by 4 with the pumpkin. Eric Sandifer forced that one. Louis Orr comes up with a ball for a 12-footer. It's 56-54. 6 minutes left in the game, and Jim Boeheim's Orangemen have connected on 8 unanswered points.
Use Carroll strictly to get that ball in bounds and start working it up court.
Just throw it high to him.
Walker drives to the hoop. Bowie's there.
Nice job.
Oh, did he intimidate Walker that time? Almost forced him to walk.
By Walker just to bring it back out, keep possession.
Boilermakers hungry for a hoop. It's Carroll, half hook and a foul against Bowie on a push.
That's that half hook shot, the first time we've seen it today.
4th foul on Bowie.
As the game gets tight like this, the ball is going to go into him every time.
Well, that look like a push to you?
Well, I think he got him with his body, just try to shove him farther away from the basket. Al, you know, I agree with you. That's what they're going to do now, but I think the reason for their dry spells is they tend to get away from him. They get a lead, they get away from him, and doesn't keep the pressure on the defense.
Well, that's very true in college ball. You forget who your stars are. And as you get maybe a 6-8 point lead, then the complementary ball players, they start taking a little fudging time. They take a little shot from 20 feet out because they figure they can gamble.
Bowie goes out. Dan Shays is in. It looks as if the way Bowie is sitting, he's just out for a quick breather. It remains 57-54. Syracuse with the ball trailing by 3. 5.5 minutes left. Been a good game. 2 outstanding teams, both in the top 10. Moss inside, head from the corner. Got fouled. Boy, he really got knocked on his back.
Sandifer picking himself up from underneath the basket also on the rebound.
2nd foul on Edmondson of Purdue. At the line, Marty Head. He's the best pure shooter on this Syracuse team. 71% free throw marksman.
He did what Kyle Macy does. He's drying his hands on the outside of his socks again.
He's gone through a personal tragedy this year. His father died suddenly back in November. A very popular gentleman with all of the Syracuse players, the coaches.
Watch his hand. After he shoots, he fish hooks the wrist. Watch the wrist now after he shoots. See it there, how it fish hooks?
57-56 the score.
That's the sign of a great shooter.
5:23 left. 3-on-1. He turned it over. He sure did.
He lost it in his hand as he was trying to make the pass, Jake Morris turned it over, and here's a big play right now.
So a 3-on-1 opportunity lost by Purdue, and here comes Syracuse with a chance to get in the lead. They've been ahead only once in the game at 41-40.
It's the Big Ten against the Big East, the new conference.
I'd say that both teams holding up the tradition pretty well.
Another travel against Syracuse, and Boeheim says that from his actions, he can't believe how many times he's been hit with that ball.
Well, that time it really was a walk, and he knew it, too. What he's wondering is why in the world is Shea's trying to make a play out there?
Walker eludes the two Syracuse defenders. Purdue has the ball in the offensive end with a 1-point lead and 4:50 left.
They're going to a slight delay right now, Billy, where they're using Carroll as the outlet under pressure. Both sides are exchanging.
They had a possible backdoor going on that one.
Yep, he's just going to delay. See how they're going to adjust to it.
Nice backdoor by Carroll out there. Really agile for a big man.
Well, he's really the safety valve in this. If he can take the count on how many seconds they'll run this.
4:25 left. Purdue 57, Syracuse 56.
Trying to get somebody backdoor for an easy one.
They will get a layup on this.
Or a turnover. 5 seconds. 5-second turnover right there. They're going to have a jump ball at the center.
That's not a turnover, Billy. They still own half the ball. This is something I tried to teach my ball players. That when they couldn't pass the ball, don't just throw it away. Take a jump ball. We still own half of it.
It'll be Brian Walker, number 20. He is 6'2", and as yet it'll be Marty Head jumping for Syracuse. He's also at 6'2". That's a very important tap.
And it was a pretty quick whistle.
Purdue wins it again. They've won just about every tap today.
They tap to Carroll almost every time. He's quite an imposing figure.
Exactly 4 minutes, and now into the 4-minute mark. And it is Sandifer on the break.
Good pass.
Bowie. Double dribble.
He never really had possession. Boeheim, that's what Boeheim is saying. How could he walk? He never had possession of the ball.
What's great about college basketball, these turnovers, the uncertainty of it.
Almost another steal. How about the 10 seconds?
Three underneath.
Oh, beautiful. What a play. Bowie denies Carroll. Eddie Moss to Marty Head. They're a little nervous. Oh, off the foot of Sandifer, but Walker got away with a foul. And it's going to be Purdue's ball. They said he slapped it against his foot. What's the
What's
right
the
here?
shot here? Here goes Carroll up. What's Bowie? Ram right
Good
up
play.
in there.
That was a foul, though. He had him by the wrist. 56. Bowie again intimidating, but Carroll follows it home. Got it, Barry Carroll. That wasn't Bowie's fault there. He went up, made one good block attempt. Nobody blocked out his man. 3:11 left.
They're losing the rhythm of the game. Good call. Good timeout call by Jim Boeheim. Syracuse is losing their rhythm. They're starting to get into a transition game and turning over too much.
Oh, with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left here at Purdue, the Boilermakers lead the Orangemen 59-56. Syracuse, with its longest winning streak in 55 years, 13-0, coming here to the Big Ten country. They trail Purdue by 3, 59-56, with 3:07 left. All right, here's the other 3-minute period you talked about, Coach.
This is what it's all about. Syracuse at home has won 52 in a row. That's a record at Manley Stadium.
Well, that's the current longest winning streak at home in the nation among major colleges as well. They're building a new dome there, the Carrier, for 25,000 fans.
For basketball, 50,000 for football. I said that maybe Jim should get double his salary because there'll be twice as many people watching the ball game.
Don't forget, golf. Bob Hope Desert Classic follows later today after Sports World on NBC. Less than 3 minutes left.
Straight man-to-man. Good screen.
Carroll blocks again. Eddie Moss trying to reject it. Off to, and the Bowie blocks at the other end.
Oh, is he quick off his feet? He went off his feet, got fake, came down and went up again and blocked it.
59-56.
3 seconds.
Travel. Or they call a travel quick. Holman knew it, too. That was a bad pass. Really, there was no place to go down on the baseline. Threw it back, and Holman had to grab it from behind him.
2:39 left. Syracuse with the ball trailing by 3 as you look at the game from the perspective of Lee Rose, head coach at Purdue.
Head or?
Sandifer off by Holman.
Oh, another mistake.
Head crossed the ball, and Moss is breaking through.
Eddie said, "It's my fault."
Carroll again helping out in the backcourt. Whoops. Stolen by Orr, then lost by... Oh, they give it to Purdue. I think Lee Rose feels he got a break on that one.
I think he did because the last man to touch it was Drake Morris on the dribble.
If he has any hair, it's not gray yet. It's going to be gray after this game.
2-on-1. Edmondson can't hit it. Gets his own rebound again. Blocked by Bowie. Recovered by Moss. 3-on-1 the other way. Sandifer ahead. He missed it.
Just can't score.
Stolen by Orr. He scored. Lewis Orr may have saved it for Syracuse. When it looked dismal for the Orangemen, Orr makes the steal and pulls his team within 1.
And there was nobody back on defense, and had that steal not taken place, I think it was an easy basket for Purdue at the other end.
Now it's down to 1 point.
154. There's the miss. Here Orr reaches in. You see there's nobody back. All 5 Syracuse players are right under the basket.
Good point, Billy.
Very good.
The fans throwing some paper on the floor and a request by the PA system to...
Now that lob that they've been throwing to Joe Barry Carroll, if somebody could time it, they might go up and pick it off, even though he does that at 7 foot.
Almost 5 seconds.
They got Roosevelt playing on man zone. They're on.
And Bowie steals the ball and gets it back. What's the call?
Walk in violation on Walker, and Bowie again has been sensational back there on the press.
Let me tell you what's happened. There's 4 guys playing the diamond press. In the back, Bowie's playing a one-man zone, and as they come into him, he's intimidating the guy that's dribbling at him. And that's forcing the turnover.
I think that guy's taking the ball in too deep, Dick. If he'd pull up at the foul line and make Bowie commit instead of the other way around, he'd be a lot better off.
Well, what's your rule, Coach? You had a rule for that, didn't you?
If you dribble over the foul line, you must dribble all the way in.
Or take the shot.
That's what I mean. You dribble all the way in and take the shot. Once you break the foul line, which is 15 feet out.
10-second possibility here on Moss. He's got to get moving, and Walker pulls off.
Well, this is for the lead, the shot.
59-58, Syracuse trails, and a foul on Walker for reaching in.
He came a long way that time and telegraphed the fact that he was going to try for the steal.
3rd foul on Walker.
You know, Al, if you were playing against this team often, Purdue, and you see how often Walker comes in there, you have to talk to the officials a little bit and say, hey, the kid's making 100 fouls a ball game.
So what's happened, I think the officials are conscious of the height of Carroll and so on, and they keep looking up rather than down.
All right, this one is to tie the game. 59 aside. We have a new game with 1:34 left, and the best free throw shooter on the Syracuse team, or with a chance to give his team the lead.
And if they get the lead,
they've got it.
Are they going to press? They're going to stay with the press.
No, he's pulling them back.
He's pulling them back.
I'll say they're going to a tight zone. One weak spot, the Achilles heel of Purdue is their outside shooting, in my opinion.
More basketball to follow. Meadowlark Lemon, then golf from the Desert Classic. Bob Hope. Eddie Moss steals it. And Syracuse leads by 3.
Now a timeout by Lee Rose. He's got to get a time. He's going to take it.
As many as 11 points with 9.5 minutes remaining in this game. They were ahead 54-43. They now trail by 3 to unbeaten Syracuse. Let's listen to Lee Rose. Now with the music now, it's tough to hear him, but what is he writing there, gentlemen?
Looks like he's talking about what the half-court offense they want when they get the ball, as they have it right now at half-court, and then what defense they're going back into it with the shot being in or not in.
I think the other thing he's bringing up too, Billy, that if they score, coming back down, if Syracuse scores, timeout right away. Stop the clock.
Dick, do you have 4 fouls on Bowie or 3? 4, yeah. I think that when Al, you talked about him going into a tight zone, they stayed man-to-man. Bowie, you know, this could be an overtime type ball game. You'd hate to have him foul out in regulation.
No, they're in a tight zone, Billy.
They done the last time down the court, they're man-to-man.
No.
They're in a zone now.
Now they're in zone.
They were in a zone last time down, too. tight.
Less than a minute remaining. Walker, surprising, he'd take it. Tip, no good. And rebounded by Orr, and he's fouled by Carroll. They fouled the toughest free throw shooter on this Syracuse team. He's hitting nearly 85% on the year.
Boy, I'm surprised at that shot selection. Walker really has had a rough half this half with Eddie Moss working on him, but to take that outside jumper without ever giving Carroll a chance is surprising.
Well, Billy, they're tightened around him. I think that's the plan that Jim's throwing out there. They have a 3-point lead. They've got to stop the ball from going in from Carroll. The Achilles heel is the foul, the outside shooting. All right, let's watch this.
Louis Orr. Big miss. 49 seconds left. Purdue leads, trails by 3. Looking for Carroll inside. Backed in. There he is. Doesn't hit. Rebound chase. Picked up by Moss. To Orr. Bowie all alone. The coup de grace. Bowie scores and he's fouled.
That's really great hustle on Bowie's part. He went the full 90 feet to get down there to be in position.
Now, gentlemen, with Syracuse leading by 5, this would be, without overemphasizing its importance, how long has it been since the East has won such an important game? Here's a chance to demonstrate against one of the class teams of the country on Purdue's court a victory for the East, and it may be one of the biggest in many, many seasons.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago, Syracuse knocked off Tennessee when they had King and Grunfeld. But they used to say, or they do say about Syracuse, the Orange men, when they go on the road, they turn into lemons. Well, I'm going to say this is quite a lemon.
They really came in here unbeaten. They were underdogs. They, with 9.5 minutes left, trailed by 11 points. They've rallied well.
Well, it's not over yet. There's time left. You got to give that new conference. I'd like to mention the teams. It is Boston College, Connecticut, Georgetown, Providence, St. John's, and Seton Hall.
That's the Big East.
The Big East. And then they're looking for one more team out of probably the Philadelphia area. This would give them a market, a TV market of maybe 50 to 60 million people.
Well, you're always working on those numbers, aren't you?
Megalopolis or Megapopolis? How do you say it, Dixie Babe? How would you say
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
Large urban areas. Megalopolis.
He likes that, the professor.
I love those monosyllabic terms you use, Coach.
Okay, Billy.
Folks, we'll have some more adjectives for you. If you can ever describe the play of and the humor of Meadowlark Lemon and the boys, that follows, and then the Bob Hope Desert Classic. So stay with us here at Purdue. Syracuse, with a great late rally, leads by 5. And at the line is the most valuable player in this game. Although he missed that one, Roosevelt Bowie of Syracuse in a very tough vote.
There's time left. There's a possibility of a 3-point play, which would be important.
They've got to get it to Carroll. No, it's Walker outside. And he hits that to take the time. 16 seconds left. Timeout Purdue. It's 64-61. So they are within the 3-point play now.
And, Dick, that's the second one-on-one miss by Syracuse, the last 2 opportunities.
So that was the end of the 3-point play. That was only one shot for Bowie.
All right, let's recap what's going to happen now, okay? Coach Rose is telling his ball players, we must foul immediately. They can't wait to try to foul the worst foul shooter. They got to foul anybody. On the other end of the court, Coach Boeheim is saying, hey, if we turn the ball over, I don't care. No 3-point play. Let them have the basket. Hold your ground. And if they do score, we'll set a timeout and try to just kill the clock.
Coach, I think that you've said it many times, while those meetings seem to be frantic at this time of the game, the fans feel they're talking about a lot of things. Most coaches are trying to make it as simple as possible. As you said, one thing that Purdue is trying to do and one thing that Boeheim must be emphasizing, no 3-point play.
You don't improvise at the end of a ball game. You already have that in your coaching act. Like if the score's tie, I got the ball, you take the shot with 6 seconds left to go. If you're at home, you drive. If you're on the road, you go for the 15-foot shot. Because the tendency at home, the official will not call you for charging. On the road, they'll probably call you for charging. Now, defensively, the score's tied. You go into a zone. You move into substitute because most games are won not on the shot, but on the rebound off the missed shot. Okay, Billy, I talked enough.
I think a real key in the game right now is Jimmy Boeheim putting in another another guard situation, a good shooter, so that he has really a strong foul shooting team in the ball game right now.
64-61, just seconds left, 16. Head fouled immediately by Edmondson. Now they used just 1 second, and the man they fouled, Marty Head, is just a 71% free throw shooter. So they picked a man that hasn't had a great year, although he's done well today. What's he done? Let's check his free throw numbers today.
Dick, I'm surprised now that Coach Lee wouldn't ice him. By icing him, say, call a timeout, let the kid sit out for another minute and a half before he steps up to the foul line, make him think about the shot.
Head is 4 for 4 in this game. Lee Rose talking with his playmaking guard, Walker.
Now Boeheim has gone back with Shays to play a defensive team on the floor right now to give him that rebounding strength.
Now, for the coaches out there, the first foul shot doesn't make any difference, one way or the other, because they need the ball twice, Syracuse, to win or tie.
Well, he missed it.
They still need the ball twice.
10 seconds. Knocked away. That's it. Eddie Moss. Look at Bowie running to Head. Stolen by Walker, but a foul on Walker. And with 3 seconds left, Syracuse at the line again. Did you see that deep breath that Boeheim just took?
Well, that's all she wrote. Congratulations to the Orangemen, and great job. Purdue played an excellent ball game. Maybe a lot was taken out of them yesterday, taking on Michigan. But it is no fluke. Syracuse reclaimed number 1. I know everyone's going to say DePaul, but Syracuse has the right to claim it. They're undefeated.
2 teams, DePaul's Blue Demons and the Orangemen of Syracuse, the only major clubs without a loss. And Jim Boeheim is maybe about to win his biggest game in his 4 years with Syracuse.
I think they're taking the monkey off his back.
He had a rough time in the East Regional last year. He really expected to go a long way with that club. And
I think we all
off early. Yeah, I think so.
Well, all he wants is respect from his peers. He doesn't look for headlines. I should like those type of coaches, then I'd get the headlines.
Well, Marty Head hits both free throws. 66-61, 3 seconds left. It's academic. Kevin Stallings came close to hitting a 70-footer, and Syracuse celebrates. 66-61 the final. The Orangemen remain unbeaten and undoubtedly will move up near the #1 spot in the nation. Stay tuned for Sports World. Dick Henberg, Al McGuire, Billy Packer.